Is it AirPod Maxes? AirPods Max? AirPods Maxes? Hold up, let me take a look. AirPods Max. All right. So I've been using the Apple Airpods Max for the better part of 6 months now, and I can easily say that these are the most expensive headphones I've bought and hopefully will buy for the foreseeable future. I've used these headphones in a variety of different situations, whether that's on the bus listening to music, on the plane listening to movies, in class, taking phone calls, at home, editing videos. I've pretty much done it all with these. So that being said, I feel like I have a pretty good idea on who should buy these headphones, who they're for, who the target is, and the things that I like and don't like about them. Also, these are just my personal thoughts about the headphones. I'm not an audio expert. This is just one person's opinion, so take that with a grain of salt. But I will say that I'm doing a video where I blindfold some of my friends and have them test out these and have them test out one of their biggest competitors, the Sony XM4 headphones. And that's going to be a blind test, so you'll get a sense on what the majority of people find better for audio quality, for comfort, all that things. So make sure you subscribe so you do not miss out on that video because it's dropping soon. So let's just start with the design of these headphones. Man, the design of these headphones are by far my favorite part about them. Like, the AirPods Max are beautiful. Like, honestly, when you wear these headphones, you're pretty much telling the rest of the world, like, pretty much a big F you to everybody else if you wear these headphones out in public. No, but jokes aside, these are super well built. They're made out of metal, aluminum to be exact, and that really just conveys that luxurious feeling. I mean, one of the best parts of these is when you don't use them for a long time and you pick them up and they're still cold to the touch. If that doesn't scream luxury, I don't know what does. But you are paying for that luxury. These are not a cheap pair of headphones. They're probably the most expensive headphones in this kind of bracket. Now, this rubber mesh thing on the top of the headphones has held up perfectly fine in the 6 months that I've used them. It does a good job on making it a little bit more comfortable and a little bit lighter feeling when it's on top of your head. But this is the thing. I know that they've held up perfectly fine, but they just don't inspire confidence. I think that it's a little bit just too soft and it's like a mesh material, so it doesn't make me feel good when I put them in my bag, especially because the case doesn't cover them. I feel like if something scrapes up on them or something rubs up on them in my bag, it's just gonna rip. Maybe that's just because of how soft it is and because I've not really seen another headphone use this kind of material, but I thought I'd mention it because it's something that I do kind of fear, even though it has held up perfectly fine to this day. And another thing that makes the headphones feel more luxurious is these metal sliding adjustment things on the side. They're super smooth and they are very, very high quality. I mean, it damn well better be high quality for the price you're paying on these headphones. And speaking of that price, when you buy headphones that are this expensive, obviously you want them to last a long time. Now, this is where it's a little bit iffy for me. Let me just put it out there that I've not had any problems with these headphones, but for example, when I am sliding this back and forth and back and forth, I don't hear clicks, it slides. Somewhere in my mind, I fear that they're just gonna get loose the more I slide them and the more I adjust them. Now, that's probably not the case, but that's kind of like the theme with these headphones, is that I feel like they're more fragile than they are. Maybe that's because you pay so much for them, you want them to last a long time. You have to baby them a little bit more than you would another pair of headphones, for example, that are not as expensive. But let me just be perfectly clear, the build quality on these is excellent. They're built very well, they really convey that luxurious feel, and you're not going to be disappointed in the build quality. But since they are so expensive, me personally, psychologically, I just feel like I want to be more careful with these than I am with another pair of headphones. Let's move on to the features of these headphones. So when you buy them, you get a bunch of features that actually make your experience a lot better. I'm not going to be talking about the very, very technical ones, like for example, the adaptive EQ. I'm going to be talking about the ones that I use more in my daily use and actually make the headphones more enjoyable to use. So with the AirPods, you get to interact with them in pretty much two ways. Physically, they have the digital crown, which is basically a bigger version of the one found on the Apple Watch, just placed on the headphones. You can use your finger to twist the digital crown and that will raise or decrease the volume, and I found this to be really, really clutch. It's super smooth, it's super satisfying, and it's a convenient way. I really like this over some of the touch capacitive ones that the other headphones use. It just works. And along with that, you can press the digital crown to play or pause your music, double tap to skip tracks, or triple tap to go to the previous track. Now, the other thing you'll find is that this button is here. This button basically allows you to toggle between noise cancellation mode and transparency mode. Which brings me into noise cancellation mode. Noise cancellation on these is very, very clutch. Probably the best I've used in any headphones to date. Now, to me, I use noise canceling the most when I'm on the bus traveling for games and I'm listening to a movie, because if you've been in that situation, you know that hearing the characters talk sometimes gets a little bit difficult. When I turn these into noise cancellation, I can pretty much isolate every single thing around me. It's not perfect. You'll still hear a little bit here and there, but overall the noise cancellation gets an A+ from me. If your volume is loud and you're listening to music, you can pretty much drown out everything without having to worry about what's going on around you. But for me, most of the time, these headphones are actually in transparency mode. Now with this mode, you can toggle it and it basically allows you to hear your surroundings. And I think this is the most clutch feature of it. And this is by far my favorite mode to have it in, because a lot of times I don't want to be fully isolated, and I really like that transparency mode because it lets me hear things. It does a much better job at this versus some of the other headphones that I've tried out, and that's because it really makes it feel like you're actually not having headphones on at all. So you can hear where sound's coming from, the direction, the loudness. It's pretty crispy too. So transparency mode is super clutch and one of my favorite features on these headphones. Now the other thing is that these headphones have magnetized ear cups that are detachable. So if you want to mix and match your colors, you could do so. But the bigger benefit to this is that, let's say your headphones are starting to get old and you've been using them for a while, you can just swap the ear cups for a new one, and now the headphones are pretty much brand new again, because the outside will definitely last you, and now you can get a new pair of ear cups and that'll last you for a long time. And they just help with the overall lifespan of these headphones, because again, you spent a lot of money on them, they damn well better last you a long time. These headphones also have a feature called spatial audio. Now the best way that I could describe this feature is that when you put the headphones on and turn on, basically it's almost like you're in the room that either the conversation is happening or the music is happening. So for example, if you're watching a movie and the screen is right in front of you and you turn your head, it's going to sound like the audio is coming from this way, or you turn your head this way, it's going to sound like it's coming from this way, because it uses head tracking technology. I don't really know exactly how it works, and I'm probably not doing a good job explaining this. So if you really want to experience it, either try it out if a friend has AirPods, or go to the Apple store and try it out. It's a really cool feature in theory. Like when I show my friends, they're all pretty blown away about it. But this is the thing, I don't use it that much. Mainly because when I'm using them to watch movies or using them to listen to music, it kind of just sounds odd, or it just sounds like something I'm not used to, and I don't really like listening to it for a long period of time. Sometimes like I'm slouched down like this, like watching a movie, it kind of like automatically tracks my head to make sure like the movie is like coming from this way. It's just not a feature that I use a lot. It's really cool, and I'm excited to see what Apple is going to do with it in the future. Other than that, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, you'd know, along with all the other AirPod products, that the syncing between Apple devices is so seamless and so fast. You pretty much take them out of the case, put them on your head, and they pretty much sync to whatever Apple product you're using. And if you're using multiple, they will automatically switch smartly, and that's a feature that I can't tell you how clutch it is. It saves me so much time, and not even time for that matter, but it just saves me a lot of just headaches on pairing and unpairing and disconnecting, connecting. It makes my life a lot easier, and I really like being in the ecosystem because it feels like everything just works and I don't have to think about it. Now the battery on these has also been pretty good. I will say that my Sony headphones do last a little bit longer, but overall, I've had no issues with the battery. They can easily last me between 4 to 5 hours, constant listening to music or movies. If I'm on the bus, they pretty much last me the whole trip, no matter how far I'm going. And they charge up pretty quickly too. They charge up with Lightning, so the same cable that you use for your iPhone. I wish they charged up with USB-C, but that's just not how it is. So battery is fine. All right, we gotta talk about it. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. The case is a piece of shit. I have nothing, not one single thing good to say about the case. The case even uses magnets, and y'all know that I like my magnets, but the case is still so damn bad. It's flimsy, it doesn't even protect the most fragile part of the headphones, which is the headband. Like, I don't know what Apple was thinking. Ay. Like, I'm trying to think about things to say for this case, but I can't think of anything to say besides the fact that it's so bad. It makes it look like it's a purse. Like, I don't know what this slit's for. Like, let's just move on. Okay, now the sound quality. You can have the best looking pair of headphones, you can have the best built pair of headphones, but if they sound like shit, they're pretty much no good. I can tell you right now, the sound quality on these, they're the best headphones that I've ever listened to. Simple as that. I've listened to quite a few pair of headphones. The bass is great and deep. The highs and the mids, they're crisp, they're clean, and even at loud volumes, they don't get distorted, which is super clutch as well. It's great for all types of situations, whether you're watching a movie or listening to music. The type of music that I listen to is mostly like rap. I'm getting into a little bit more pop and some R&B, and these are great for that. The bass really hits you the mids and highs, like I said, clear. So the audio gets an A+. Like I said before, best sounding headphones I've ever tried. But don't take my word for it, because I might be a little bit biased because I just like them and I want them to sound good because I spent that much money on them. So like I talked about, I'm going to do a blind test on some of my friends and we'll see what the general public thinks about the audio quality versus some other headphones out there. So make sure you subscribe for that. All right, let's recap this video. These are a very expensive pair of headphones. They are built amazingly well, but for the price, you could feel like it's more of a jewelry product than an actual headphones, meaning that you're gonna baby them a little bit more than you would a normal product. They're also the best sounding headphones I've ever bought. The real question is, do I recommend them? Simple answer, no. But don't click away yet because I have some explaining to do. In Canada, which is where I live in, after tax, you pay about $880 for these headphones. That is an outrageous amount of money and not something that any rational person would buy a headphone for. But that's the thing about this. It's not for everybody. One, if you're a diehard Apple fan and you just want the latest and greatest tech that Apple has to offer and you have the money to spend, go for it, because rocking these headphones anywhere is just a flex in itself. But the people who are buying these headphones, I don't think are like mixing audio or are creating music and all that kind of stuff with these headphones. The people who are buying these headphones just want the best listening experience, whether they're listening to music or movies or podcasts. And these headphones are honestly almost a status symbol at this point. You see like NBA players or celebrities and stuff wearing them, and you know exactly what headphones they are. They don't even have a logo on them, but you know that they're Apple headphones because they are actually they're just so Apple. So if I was recommending a pair of headphones, they wouldn't be this one. They're too expensive and the quality and the sound and everything is not that much better to justify that price tag. So I'd recommend something like the Sony WH-1000 XM4s. Those are great sounding headphones for, I think, almost like half the price, especially when it's on sale. But if you want something luxurious and you want to feel cool and you want to have fun every time you're listening to music, these are the ones to go for. They're honestly my favorite headphones that I've ever used. And yeah, like, to sum it up, these are the best headphones that I would never recommend. Thank you for watching.